Hello, Durud and Shalom. How's everyone doing? My name is Armin Navabi. Guys, I hope my audio is good. Let me know if everything is okay. And make sure you like the stream because we have a lot to go through and I need to get through it really fast or else I'm going to miss some really important points. Okay. Um, I see some Iranians. There's an Iranian here warning me not to tell you guys about this. El Naz in the chat is telling me not to tell you guys about this. But let me actually respond to that because the topic is Iran's monarchists divided over the transition plan, and even other than Elnaz. So this is Elnaz comments in Persian. She came here to tell me that I shouldn't be telling you guys this, and there were right before I came here, I was on the Iranian our Persian Discord community. So I did a show in Persian, and after that we went to our Discord community, and there was also someone else there that was telling me that maybe I shouldn't be doing this show in English because this is an internal issue and I shouldn't be advertising our differences. So let me actually see what Elnaz is saying. Elnaz is saying کار اشتباهیه که اختلاف بین اپوزیسیون رو میاد اینجوری اینقدر سریع کف دست خارجی میخواد بذاره. So Elnaz is saying I'm making a mistake by coming here and putting the differences between the opposition right in the hands of foreigners, meaning you guys. So let me actually respond to that because the idea is that I should be promoting the opposition against Islamic Republic. So coming here and talking about any sort of division is not good for how foreigners will see the opposition against the Islamic Republic, especially the ones who are around Reza Pahlavi, right? So, oh, no foreigners, yeah. But guys, I see the chat is busy. I need your comments. So here's the reason why I think that's a mistake for me not to come and tell you guys. Number one is that I want to be honest with you guys. I don't want to be biased. I don't want to just give you one side of things. And I think that's important so that I build some trust with you guys. Because if I only come and tell you the good stuff and I hide the bad stuff, I'm not going to be, you guys are not going to trust me. And yeah, D is saying we are not the enemies. Yes, thank you for saying, yeah, exactly. And we're in this together. Like we're all the enemies of the Islamic Republic. So, and if I come here and tell you the good and the ugly, and I tell you both of them, then my credibility with you guys will increase. So when we need your help or we need unity, I'm hoping that will eventually mean that you guys will trust me more compared to other people who might want to tell you only one side of things. So that's reason number one. I should tell you this. Reason number two is that exactly, Debbie is just pointing out you read my mind, Debbie. Division is normal. Some disagreements and infighting are inevitable. Every movement that grows, at some point there will be some infighting, this is why I want to respond to the second person in the chat who said, how about they all stay united around how to get the transition in the first place from where we are right now plan. Okay, so in response to you, I want to say you can never expect everybody to be united. That all in your comment is an unreasonable ask. Instead of asking for something that is impossible, you will never get everybody to be united. We have to recognize right now that the opposition has been more united than ever before. Even with the news that I'm going to tell you today, we have the highest amount of unity. And of course, there will always be some people who are not happy and they're going to get divided or they're going to attack you or they're going to break away. So you're asking for the impossible. And I just want you guys, when I'm explaining the show to you today, to see the context, within the context that even though we have some divisions, we have the largest unity around Reza Pahlavi, and that has not changed. And I'll tell you what's happening. And the third reason why I think it's okay that I'm doing this is because the reason why this is happening at all is because Reza Pahlavi is growing so much that some people are getting jealous for not being included in the around Reza Pahlavi's sphere, like they're not being allowed. There are people who have been doing this for longer years, and but they're not experts in the fields that Reza Pahlavi wants them to be expert in. So, and they're very emotional. They're very like they're zealots, not in Islam, but in their own brand of monarchism. Again, not all monarchists are like that, but they are like this, and I will explain this to you guys in detail. And Reza Pahlavi is somebody, and actually, what I'm going to tell you today is going to show you that why Reza Pahlavi is the best person to lead the opposition. Because the reason why some people are coming up with some excuses to attack Reza Pahlavi's team is because they are jealous that they're not included in that team, and they're coming up with weird excuses to attack Reza Pahlavi's team. And the reason why they're not included is because Reza Pahlavi is looking for experts rather than people who are virtue signaling regarding how patriotic they are, how Aryan they are, or how Persian they are, or how their history, their understanding of ancient history of Iran or the culture of Iran. Like you have some people who are experts in poetry and history, and they have been known in the opposition and the academics, and all of a sudden Reza Pahlavi is creating a team of experts around him, and a lot of these people are Iranians who are born in America, and they don't even when they speak Persian, they speak it with an accent, and a lot of these people think like, what the hell? These people are not even fully Iranian. Like, why are they on the team? Anyways, I will get to you. That's the real reason. But my point is that all of this actually shows the strength of the movement around Reza Pahlavi, because it only a movement that grows this much will have some people, some fragmentation from it, some jealousy, some infighting. If you want to keep a group completely without drama, you have to keep it small. Obviously, any group, as soon as it grows, it will have some infighting in it. But Reza Pahlavi's correct decisions has led to some people becoming angry. And this is not a sign of the weakness of the opposition, in my opinion. This is actually a sign of the strength of the opposition. So let me actually go through the details and tell you what's happening here, okay? And guys, I know this conversation today is very niche, very specific. Like, not that many people on English media are talking to you about the details of the, maybe infighting of the opposition against the Islamic Republic inside Iran. A lot of people, like, this is because we're getting so deep, because we're basically adding a lot of nuance here, and you need to be a geopolitical nerd for this to be interesting to you. Okay, it's important that you like the stream, because if you like me getting this nuance and this detail, that means that our content is not going to be interesting to a broader audience that wants to just have a general understanding of what's happening in the Middle East. Because we're getting so specific, we're only targeting a very specific group of people, and our reach, when I get this laser focus, it hurts our reach. So to fix that, I need you guys to like this stream, okay? So if you are a geopolitical nerd, please introduce this to other people who are interested in nerding on geopolitics. Okay, so to explain what's happening right now to you in Iran, I have to introduce you to this group called NUFDI, NUFDI, and their project, which is called the Iran Prosperity Project, IPP. So NUFDI, NUFDI, which you guys should follow on Twitter, right, It stands for the National Union for Democracy in Iran, and it's based in Washington D.C. And the people who's behind it are also Iranian Americans. So it's an advocacy group run by Iranian Americans. It is pro Reza Pahlavi. In fact, it is working with Reza Pahlavi, and it's basically the replacement to Nayak. Nayak was the main group, the Iranian group in United States that was trying to influence policy decisions by the United States. And Nayak was basically the propaganda arm of the reformers of the Islamic Republic, basically was the propaganda arm of the Islamic Republic. And many Iranians try to show Americans how evil that organization is and why it shouldn't be trusted. And now we finally have a patriotic anti-Islamic Republic replacement, which is NUFDI, which is under the leadership of Reza Pahlavi. So their goal is to help prepare for a peaceful democratic transition when the Islamic Republic collapses. And again, their Twitter account or X account is a good source of updates, right? So for example, like I try to introduce, like for Israel stuff, I think a really good source of updates is Emily Schreider. For Iran stuff, a really good source of updates is the NUFDI account. Right, so you should follow that. If you just want to focus on a few accounts, these are some few. I'll tell you the accounts that are good sources. Like when I want to see if there's some update that I need to pay attention to, like when I wake up and like, oh my god, what's happening? Something new is happening. If it's Israel, I usually check Emily Schreider, see what she has to say about it. But anyways, let's go. So so I told you what NUFDI is. Oh, so this is what happened. No, wait, before the main event. They just launched they just recently in April, let me go a little bit back. In April 2025, NUFDI launched a major initiative called the Iran Prosperity Project, which is a detailed plan for what should happen immediately after the Islamic Republic falls. And guys, this is very good that we have that, because that means that we don't have to worry about a power vacuum. We have a plan to hit the ground running as soon as the Islamic Republic falls. And this plan, the IPP plan, the Iran Prosperity Project, it was very detailed. It was very detailed. So it had an emergency phase for the first 100 days to keep the government functioning, maintain security and economic stability, ensure basic services continue, salaries, customs, utilities, etc. And then it has an establishment phase, which is the first 2 years, which is to draft a new democratic constitution, set up elections for a new government, begin economic recovery. And then it has a phase 3, which is long term, for stabilization and rebuilding. That's for the phase 3, which is to modernize institutions, encourage investments and reconstruction. And also phase 3 includes normalized foreign relationships, including relationship with Israel. And also Reza Pahlavi was there and he spoke, and his daughter was there as well, Noor Pahlavi and Reza Pahlavi spoke at the launch of the IPP plan and supported it as an actionable roadmap. Okay, so now you have the context. Now let me tell you what this recent drama, and guys, this drama is fresh. It's basically less than 24 hours old. This just happened. Oh, by the way, guys, your usernames, I figured out what happened. I asked 03, and apparently YouTube is rolling out this in some channels. This is the new way YouTube is going to show this on some channels. So I didn't make a mistake. So your usernames are showing instead of your name. YouTube is rolling that out slowly on more channels. This is apparently going to be the new way. Oh yeah, where is Heavy Gretel? No Heavy Gretel today. You can ask me to. I know everything. Let me see if you guys, let me know if this is flying over your head. I need to make sure that you guys are understanding what I'm saying. I want you guys to be on the same page with me. If you don't understand, let me ask me. Okay, so here's the controversy. Oh, Heavy Gradual is here saying I'm here, just lurking. Yay. Okay. Oh, Shana saying thanks, YouTube. I hate it. Okay, guys. Apparently, they're doing it for easier moderating, because apparently, and also so that people don't use other people's fake names, and so that mods could actually identify who is who, instead of like somebody basically keep changing their names and being able to get away. So apparently, it's a moderating issue. I don't know why. Yeah, people are saying I hate it. I hate it. Amir is here. Greta, yes, exactly. Anyways, let's go through the controversy. What the controversy is, okay? So they basically just released just yesterday an emergency phase document. This was published just recently. Well, maybe 2 days ago, right? So in it, and again, when it came out, at first, a lot of people on my Telegram from Iranians send the PDF to me. To like, oh, Armin, this is so exciting. Let's look at the emergency phase document. We should make a show about this. And I'm like, okay, let me look at it and make a show about it. But before I could even make a show about it, there was a line in it, in the emergency phase document, that pissed off some more traditional monarchists, which we call Mashruta Khahan Sunnati. Anyways, I'm not going to get into the name. So this was the line in it, right? The line included a sentence saying that the existing civil and commercial codes shall remain temporarily operative until replaced by the Constituent Assembly. Is that how you pronounce that? Let me see. Constituent Assembly. Do you guys? So what's the problem with that? What do you guys think? Why all of a sudden so many people are pulling their hair out, calling these people traitors? Actually, let me show one of the posts that one influential monarchist made. Maybe I should upload that because this was sent to me. So Amir saying, Armin, please simplify. I will. Yeah. Constituent. Okay, so look at this, okay? This person, which is Khosrow Farwahar, which is a well-known person among the monarchists in Iran, he said, Khatab be Sazaman NUFDI, says to the NUFDI Foundation. So I want to go easy one by one. Okay, so that line is basically saying, like, hey, once the Islamic Republic falls, what we're going to do is some of the codes, some of the civil codes and commercial codes, they're going to temporarily remain until we have a constituent assembly. Is that what it's called? We call it Shoraya Muassasan or Majlis Muassasan, right? And they will basically come. So the Constituent Assembly is basically the assembly that the Iranian people will be voting for so that they could write the constitution and the new laws of the country. And what this line is suggesting is that before we have that, some of the remaining codes will just continue until we have a replacement. So why is that? Do you guys, Amir, does that make sense now? Why is that such a horrible thing? Anybody can guess why? Yeah, exactly. So Kappa is saying, makes sense. You can't change the whole system suddenly. It could make problems. Exactly. Okay, Amir saying now you understand. Yeah, Stephanie saying so much more beautiful in Farsi. Okay, sure, yes. Yeah, people are saying it makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so Torel is Torel. Okay, I don't know. Is that how you? Okay, so it's saying because the current civil codes are Islamic laws. No, because they actually made it very clear that they're not going. The Islamic laws will not be included. And so let me actually, before I show you, translate the post that I want to show you. This is how some people interpret it. They said that, like what basically what Charles said, that some parts of the Islamic Republic's legal system will stay in force temporarily. This includes laws written under the 1979 Islamic Republic Constitution. So for NUFDI, this is just a temporary and administrative solution, not a political one. They argue, basically, just like the live chat recognized, that we can't function in a legal vacuum. We'll remove all ideological parts, but for basic contracts. So if you said that some of it is Islamic, NUFDI has made it clear that the ideological parts will not apply. But for basic contracts, taxes, and salaries, we need legal continuity until the new system is ready. That's what they're arguing. But some of these monarchist activists, not all, most of them, not most of them, most Republicans, well, most people in Iran supporters of Pahlavi, okay? And that includes monarchists and Republicans. But there are some monarchist activists who are extremely offended, and I know why. This is on purpose. And these are the people who are offended. These are specifically the type of monarchists who are loyal to the 1906. You heard that right, 1906, okay? Not 1916, not 1926, okay, 1906. Constitutional revolution. And they say this was unacceptable. They want to bring back the 1906 constitution. They don't even want an assembly to come vote for a new constitution. They say that we should bring the monarchist constitution of 1906 without even having a vote for it. That's what we should be returning to. We should just return to that. Oh, Delta saying, will regime members be arrested and tried? Delta, oh, that's a very good question. I will get back to this because it's relevant to what we're saying today. Delta, I'm going to keep your question and I'm going to respond to it later because it's relevant. So, for example, this very famous monarchist, Khosrow Farvahar, was saying, Khatab be Sazaman NUFDI, so addressing it to the NUFDI Foundation, is saying, به رسمیت شناختن یواشکی قانون اساسی جمهوری اسلامی از سوی شما را محکوم می‌کنیم. He said, we condemn you of your official recognition, your secret official recognition, your secret recognition of the Constitution of the Islamic Republic, which is so fucking stupid. This is like, let me tell you how stupid this is. This is as if somebody comes says that, hey, during the Islamic Republic, it was the law that we had to stop behind a red light. How about we continue to do that even after the regime falls? And then you come and say, oh, okay, I condemn you for recognizing the laws of the Islamic Republic. That's what they sound like. They sound stupid. And then it continues. It says, پیشنهاد شما برای استفاده حتی محدود از آن در دوران گذار تا همه پرسی و مجلس مؤسسان توهین به انسانیت و به رسمیت شناختن رفراندوم دروغین 58 است. He's saying your suggestion that we use those codes, those laws, had even for a short time in the transition period before we have the referendum and before we have the assembly of the, what is it again? Constituents, right? He said to suggest that is an insult upon humanity, is an insult against humanity. It's an insult against humanity as a whole. Wow, okay. And then it said it's also a recognition, officially recognizing the false referendum the lie of 1979 Islamic Revolution. So he's suggesting that because NUFDI is suggesting that we should continue some of these laws just for a little bit and not the ideological parts, that these people are traitors, that they should be condemned, and they are officially recognizing the 1979 Islamic Revolution, which is stupid in my opinion. Oh, Behzad is saying I am with Khosrow. One Iranian in the chat actually agrees with him. I think it's absolutely idiotic. It makes absolutely no sense. Like there is no argument for that. Yeah. So Hail in the chat saying they're like Reza Pahlavi and NUFDI are lying, and we want Reza Pahlavi to be king. Yes, exactly. So Hail is making a really good point, because these people are actually anti-Reza Pahlavi, but it's so taboo among monarchists to be anti-Reza Pahlavi, because they're upset with Reza Pahlavi. Here's why some these monarchists are upset with Reza Pahlavi. Let me give you the list of reasons. Because Reza Pahlavi never came and fully endorse monarchism. Reza Pahlavi, so some monarchists are pissed off with Reza Pahlavi because Reza Pahlavi never came behind saying monarchism is the way. Reza Pahlavi instead says that the Iranian people should decide whatever they want. And they didn't like him for that. They don't like it that Reza Pahlavi seems to be sensitive, doesn't like calling himself king or prince, and he always shied away from using those terms. And now, even more recently, he came and told people to maybe call him father instead. And they don't like the fact that Reza Pahlavi, the people that Reza Pahlavi has around him are actually more people who actually call him names like Reza or RP or Pahlavi or stuff like that, and they don't refer to him like Your Highness, King, Prince. And he seems to be more comfortable with people that just treat him like a regular guy, and they think that he doesn't really value monarchist symbols and stuff like that. Yes, exactly. Amir is saying they're more monarchist than the monarch himself. Exactly. But again, it's really, some of these people openly came out and criticized him, few, but many of them did not, even though they wish they could criticize him, they did not, because they know how popular he is. And now, Reza Pahlavi, with getting so close to the NUFDI Foundation, they feel so betrayed. They feel like he hasn't been sitting with any of them, and now he is going to these Iranian Americans who, and some of them don't even speak Persian like as if like a native. They're like these people are more American than Iranian. Like, who are these? Who's this NUFDI Foundation? Like, who are they to tell us what we're supposed to do? They're not even, and they kind of try to challenge how Iranian they are, right? But the thing is that they're experts, and that's what Reza Pahlavi cares about. They're experts. They know their shit. So because it's so taboo right now among monarchists to attack, I mean, it's not taboo among many leftists. I think many leftists wake up every morning cursing Pahlavi and go to sleep cursing Pahlavi. It's basically their form of prayer. The Iranian leftists, they curse Israel and Pahlavi at least 5 times a day. A day is not complete unless they do that 5 times, right? But these monarchists wouldn't go anti-Pahlavi, because among monarchists it's very taboo to do that. But instead of doing that, they're attacking NUFDI, which is an indirect way to attack Reza Pahlavi, because NUFDI is Reza Pahlavi's team. So they're trying to attack Reza Pahlavi without actually directly mentioning his name. Okay. Guys, do you appreciate all these details that I'm giving you? Like, anybody who follows my streams is going to become an expert in Iranian politics. Okay, like you guys know the internal chaos and the different groups within Iran's the Islamic Republic. Now you have a better understanding of the opposition than most people. Yeah, Amir, thank you, Amir. Amir saying the Atheist Republic, the best channel for Middle East geopolitics and religion analysis. Oh, thank you. Oh, Carl saying, oh, yes, keep going. Okay, sorry. Keep going. Okay. All right, so let me actually get into more detail regarding who these people are, the people who are against the NUFDI and what they are using as an excuse. And guys, this also shows that the plan that they put on the table is pretty good if this is what they are upset about. Wait, did I actually translate that whole thing? I think I didn't finish it, right? So then he continues in the last part. He says قانون اساسی مشروطه حتی با ایراداتی که دارد تنها قانونی است که برخلاف خواسته شما در دوران گذار از آن باید البته با حذف متمم 1 و 2 آن در رابطه به دین استفاده شود. He says that the 1906 constitution, the monarchist constitution, right? Is that the English name? The monarchist constitution of 1906. That is the only constitution that we should go back to in the transition period, by just removing only the religious parts. So, right? So we have basically now two camps. So we're talking about the transition period. The Mashrut Khahan, which is the 1906 constitution people, basically, or the traditional Mashrut Khahan Sunnati, they want the transition period for when we basically the Islamic Republic has fallen to immediately go to the constitution of 1906 immediately during the transition period, which is insane because that is like more than 100 years ago. Like a lot of the day-to-day activities when it comes to contracts, taxes, is not going to be that's not going to be enough. So the Islamic Republic, with all its flaws, I mean, we just don't have to apply the ideological parts. With all its flaws, at least the codes that we have right now running the country is relevant to the world today. It doesn't make any sense to just get rid of all that. Sohail, in the previous live stream that I did in Persian, brought a good example. He mentioned that, for example, there's a lot of subsidies for gas in Iran right now. And if you just want to get rid of all the code, all those, I mean, subsidies are bad. As a capitalist, I'm against subsidies, but you cannot just completely get rid of them all of a sudden. What you need to do, like if you wanted to get rid of all the laws by the Islamic Republic, the price of gas for cars will become exponentially higher and nobody would be able to afford that. So and there's nothing in the laws of 1906 that applies to that. Or there's so many details regarding tax codes, contract codes, that there's nothing in 1906 about any of that. So obviously it makes sense to just continue what you have except the Islamic parts. And then you could slowly change it. I mean, right after you have a constitution. Like, guys, here's an example. When the Soviet Union fell, and I say this as a capitalist myself, somebody who's a big fan of capitalism and free markets, we got another super chat. I will respond to that. I could tell you that one big mistake that happened is that the people who were in favor of capitalism and free markets basically went with the privatization of different industries in the Soviet Union way too fast. And it led a lot of corrupt people being able to take control of a lot of industries in Russia. And one reason why Russia is still right now not a democracy is because how fast people were trying to privatize everything without actually going step by step slowly. because people are like, hey, communism bad, free market's good. Let's change everything immediately. Exactly. Amir saying the change was too radical instead of going step by step. So the NUFDI people have it right. Oh, let me actually respond to the 2 super chats that we got. Oh, we were Diamond Encrusted Abdullah is saying, I'm watching my child. Oh my God. Okay. And Diamond Encrusted Abdullah is saying, Allah is a fallen angel. He's our creator. Sure, buddy. Again, never going to be a fan unless you add some dragons into those stories. Shauna is saying, so it sounds like there are a hard traditional monarchists and some neo-monarchists. I mean, that might be a good name for it. I have to think about that. You would, if we name them that would be the first. Shauna, you came up with them. I've never seen anybody name them like that. Let me actually tell you, most Iranian people are not bothering themselves with these details. Most Iranian people are focused on the right thing, which is the toppling of the Islamic Republic. And they know Reza Pahlavi is the key to make that happen. That's what they're focusing on. Like, it's so insane to be like, okay, let's start a war over over what constitution exactly we're going to have after the Islamic Republic falls. This is the Islamic Republic loves this. The Islamic Republic would want to take this and start advertising to Iranians like, look, you haven't even started a government yet, and look the infighting that you're having with like these people. Like, I mean, this is but the good thing is that most Iranian people know that this is not what you should be focusing on right now. The focus should be unity against the Islamic Republic. So let me actually, and again, Delta, I haven't forgotten your question. I will get to it. So the traditional monarchists that you named them, Shana, they're called Mashrutakha. Okay, so they call Mashrutakha, well, traditional Mashrutakha, and they're followers of the original 1906 constitution written during the Qajar dynasty. What they argue is that any use of the Islamic Republic's constitution, even one line of it, is polluted and invalid, which is stupid because we have laws regarding, I don't know, like, oh, like, guys, this is not Islamic. This is just about the tax code. It's Islamic Republic, so we should remove it. This is basically, this is religious. This is some religious bullshit, I think. And then they say Iran already has a legitimate secular constitution, the 1906 Basic Law, which should be restored immediately after the regime collapse. And they say allowing even a temporary use of the Islamic Republic's legal codes risks normalizing the system they fought to destroy. That's bullshit. There is no normalizing the Islamic Republic. There is no normalizing. That's an insane worry. The Islamic Republic is not normal for the Iranian people, and there's not going to be like what are you suggesting? The Iranians are like, oh my God, I really hate the fucking Islamic Republic, and I wanted them to remain. I wanted them to not be able to remain for a single second. But hey, are we using the same tax code as before? Okay, I'm going to reevaluate my hate for the Islamic Republic. I mean, they killed a lot of people, they executed people, they tortured people. But hey, this is after the toppling of the regime, and we're using the same tax code that they were using before. This must mean that they weren't that bad. That's such a bullshit argument, in my opinion. All right. So on one camp, we have the people who are supporting NUFDI, which means that they're supporting Reza Pahlavi. Right. And again, remember, please understand that that's the majority, and most people are united behind Reza Pahlavi. And their position is that we keep the basic, only the basic non-political parts, non-ideological and non-political parts of the laws for only 100 days just to maintain order. And then we will replace them later with a new constitution. Makes sense. And then the other side, which is the traditional Mashrutakhaha, They say reject all laws from the Islamic Republic, restore the 1906 constitution on day one. These are old, by the way, these people are older, very old. And they are saying, let me actually tell you what are the discussion on social media. This has exploded. Oh, Carl is saying, good stream. Are there any feudal elites left? Nope. Does land ownership play a role in the Iran opposition? No, feudalism was this removed, like was ended by Muhammad Reza Shah, one of the great things he has done. So we have no feudalism. During the Pahlavis got rid of feudalism, which was progress. Does land ownership play a role in the Iran opposition? No. Land ownership, land is controlled by the Islamic Republic. The land in Iran is controlled by the Islamic Republic. It's controlled by IRGC. And feudalism ended in Iran thanks to Muhammad Reza Shah. Thanks to his white revolution. Oh, Sean is saying, I'm going to just call them Tradmons and Neomons. Tradmons and Neomons. Okay, that's cool. Good names. Okay, maybe let's see if it sticks. Thank you for the super chat. All right, so on social media, these are the heated discussions on Twitter Spaces, on Clubhouse, on Instagram. There are thousands of people discussing this. Like there are Clubhouse rooms with so many people listening to this. On Twitter Spaces, people are going over this, and what they're saying is that NUFDI betrayed the cause. And they're saying that the 1979 Constitution cannot be used in even any part of it. Even the non-ideological, non-political parts should not be used. And they want Reza Pahlavi to step in and call out NUFDI, which I hope he doesn't do. And then we have a lot of monarchist channels on Telegram. There are some voice messages here warning that NUFDI has been infiltrated by reformists. They say that NUFDI has been infiltrated by reformists. And they try to show side-by-side language of the IPP language and the 1979 Constitution. We're like, oh, look, they are infiltrated. This is basically conspiracy theorists, right? So you know how among leftists and Islamists, they see the Jews everywhere, even when there's no Jew? Unfortunately, we do also have some conspiracy theorists among the Iranian opposition. And I mean, it makes sense because reformers are sneaky. The reformers have been found in places that shocked us doing their scheming. So it makes sense why this conspiracy theory exists. But now it has become like some people they see reformers even where there's no reformers involvement. Like this is a constant accusation. Like, so you see among Islamists and leftists and the woke right, they just see Jew everywhere. Like when they want to come up with their conspiracy theories. Unfortunately, we also have that among the secular anti-Islamic Republic people. We keep accusing people of being maybe with the reformers, because it's based on a justified worry. I see a super chat. I will respond to that. It's based on a justified worry because the reformers are trying to. They know that the regime is about to get toppled. They know that this will happen eventually, so they're trying to find a way to remain in power and basically change skin instead of changing the regime. Basically, with a new phase, like basically the Islamic Republic 2.0. And in a way that it's not called Islamic Republic, that we have, some liberty, so we have some social freedom, but it's the same people, it's the same mentality, it's still anti-West, it's anti-Israel, but gives people certain freedoms, and to try for them to stay in power. So basically, get rid of the hardliners, get the reformers to stay in power with a fresh face, but it's basically the same underlying ideology, right? We know that the reformers are trying to do that, but the problem is that now they're seeing patterns where patterns don't exist, and they're attributing everything they don't like to reformers' infiltration. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. So no, I mean, Reza Pahlavi has not yet addressed that, and a lot of people are getting angry. They want him to address it. So Dominic Cursed Abdullah with another crazy super chat saying, Star of David can be seen on top of Saturn. Allah is the God of Saturn. His throne is at Mecca. His chosen people are Israel. Flag of Israel represents God of Saturn. Muhammad is a Freemason. Okay. Okay. Again, no dragons, so I'm not a fan. How could you have any fantasy without dragons, right? So these Tradmons, as Shana has mentioned, has named them, they're trying to they're putting calls out for boycotting NUFDI, which is an attack on Reza Pahlavi. It's interesting that we have monarchists indirectly attacking Reza Pahlavi. And then we have some people coming and defending NUFDI, saying that the clause is administrative, not ideological. By the way, do you guys like how, I mean, one thing that I like about all of this is that it shows how much people in Iran are tired of religion in their politics and how much they hate the Islamic Republic. Even though I don't like their arguments, but the accusations are always like, oh, you're Islamic. No, you're Islamic. You know, like that is, you're with the Islamic Republic. This is going to be Islamic. You're bringing Islamic. So it actually shows, even though the argument is kind of insane, it actually shows the level of hatred that exists among Iranians for anything that could be even remotely close to the Islamic Republic or has any form of Islamic ideology being brought into the government. Which is actually, it's good. Like, this is why I'm so hopeful. This is why I'm not worried about what the fuck is going to happen after, as long as we have unity around Reza Pahlavi and the regime topples. These people will make Iran great again because they have the right ideas. They want secularism, they want liberalism, they want democracy. They're anti-leftist bullshit. With these people, you're going to get something great. As long as you stay united with Reza Pahlavi. This is a good sign. So, okay. They want to know how much Reza Pahlavi is involved with NUFDI. So let me actually, the key arguments, let's break down the arguments. NUFDI, practical government. So these are the people from NUFDI have come out and they try to explain what the hell, why they had that line in there. They said practical governance needs legal continuity. We can't pay salaries or run airports without some legal code. And again, paying salaries in the modern age and running airports, you're not going to find any structure for that from back in 1906. And they said this is temporary. A new assembly will write a democratic constitution. And then they also said we are not using the 1979 constitution's ideology, only non-political law like business and traffic rules, and nothing that has anything to do with Velayat Faqih or the Guardian Council or the Supreme Leader, none of that. And they say that there's a broad coalition needed. They say all of this makes sense. Everything that the NUFDI Foundation is saying makes sense. It's saying we need buy-in from professionals and bureaucrats familiar with the current system. If we throw it all away, the state might collapse, which goes back finally to what Delta was saying at the beginning. Delta, are you still here? You said You said, will regime members be arrested and tried? No. NUFDI, that's a mistake, and that's what NUFDI understands as well. Some people think that these people are betraying are with the Islamic Republic because they're suggesting that not just because everybody not working with the Islamic Republic is not a good enough reason for us to come and arrest you or remove you. In fact, not only we're not going to arrest you, many people that are right now working for the Islamic Republic are going to continue their jobs after the regime is toppled. And some people are very sensitive about that. They think that's a bad idea. Like, what the fuck? Like, Islamic Republic is a criminal terrorist, or is the most evil entity that many Iranians know. And they're like, why would you? Anybody who's working with the Islamic Republic needs to go. And not only you shouldn't be giving them a job, they should go to jail. That's a very bad idea, and we know that that's a bad idea because of our experience with Iraq. A lot of people think that what happened in Iraq was because that United States toppled Saddam. But that was, the chaos that happened after was not because United States toppled Saddam. The chaos that happened in Iraq was because United States basically removed anybody that had anything to do with the Ba'ath Party of Iraq back then from the government, and gave them no access to be able to continue. Not only were they not able to continue their job, they were not even able to come and reapply to work for the government. And that power vacuum and that inability, these are a lot of people that knew the bureaucracy, knew the little bit of the details of how things run on a day-to-day basis. And that vacuum basically caused the chaos that made Iraq collapse. And that vacuum is the reason why we eventually had ISIS. And we shouldn't be making the same mistake with Iran. A lot of the people who are just basically stamping things, recording things, doing the administrative stuff, yes, they're working for the Islamic Republic, yes. And they're going to continue to do what they're doing after. And a lot of people, when they hear that, they think like, oh, so you are one of those people who's just trying to change skin instead of doing a proper toppling of the regime. But that's not the case. We're talking about administrative employees. We're not talking about leaders. We're not talking about we're not talking about the reformer leaders. We're talking about the average people who are just there to receive a paycheck because of the thing that they know. They know how to do. The experience that they have, they know how their familiarity. Oh, I said it. With what they're working on. So yeah, they shouldn't be, unless they are anybody who works with the Islamic Republic. The only people who need to be not only fired but also tried in a court with the ability for them to defend themselves with access to lawyers, it should be only people that we have evidence for that they have committed a crime. Like, unless somebody just working, just like, I don't know, filing documents is not a crime. If you're working for the Islamic Republic, that is not a crime. I mean, you could also look at what happened after the Nazis fell in Germany. We didn't try everybody. They didn't execute everybody. They didn't put everybody in prison. A lot of people who were working for the government before continued to work for the government after. A lot of the people who were in the military ended up remaining in the military. They only went and punished the leaders, not every single person that was in governance. Yeah, Amir is saying 100. Yeah. So NUFDI is suggesting that if we threw all of it away, the state might collapse. There would be absolute chaos. This is how the NUFDI Foundation knows exactly what we need to do to avoid a power vacuum. So the other side, the trad mons, Okay. Shana, it's actually, I'm liking it. I'm using it. The Tradmos are saying even a temporary use of the 1979 Constitution stains the tradition. See how you see there's religious talk stains the like, so they're not based on, it's not a utilitarian principle. They're just focusing on symbols more than the outcome. And they say Iran already has, okay, I already mentioned that. And they also do a slippery slope. This is a slippery slope fallacy. They say today it's civil law, tomorrow is compromise with the clerics. So yeah, this is basically a classic example of the slippery slope fallacy. Like, oh, if you accept their civil laws today, tomorrow you're going to compromise with the mullahs. So this is on the Persian channel. I said, guys, so make sure that as soon as the regime falls, every single Iranian needs to make sure that they stop when the lights go green and they go when the light is red. And because it's a slippery slope, if you continue the laws, then tomorrow you're stopping at the today you're stopping at the red light. Tomorrow you're going to have the clerics as your leaders again. So it would be, you're betraying the country. You're a traitor if you stop behind the red light, according to this argument. It will become our national duty. It's our patriotic duty of every single Iranian to go out the day after the Islamic Republic falls and find the red light and go through it based on this argument. Oh, Elad, thank you so much for the Zionist funding. Elad is saying, making sure Zionist funding goes through. Well, thank you so much. It's really an honor to say that this channel is Zionist funded. Thank you, Elad. They say transitional technocrats may secretly protect the old regime, and they also mistrust NUFDI. They say it's funded by U.S. donors and too disconnected from from Iranian realities. Basically, this is a secret way of saying they're not properly Iranian because they were born in the U.S. and they don't speak Farsi like a native. And they're saying that they're accusing NUFDI of saying by saying they're trying to control the post-regime process from abroad. I mean, the entire, like, yeah, how else can you do it? Can you do it from inside Iran? You will be executed. So yeah, this is really not good. Like, what they're doing is really helps the Islamic Republic. I haven't seen any official updates from Reza Pahlavi yet, but people are demanding that he says something. And some say that his silence means approval. Others say he must step in to unite the factions. I think he's maybe just talking to his advisors. So the Islamic Republic's propaganda channels are using this fight to show the opposition is chaotic and unready, which is crazy because every opposition will have some level of infighting. It's inevitable. And this could also cause some diaspora funding split. So big donors, big Iranian donors who are rich, who usually donate to the oppositions, might be waiting to see who has the clearest and most unified roadmap. But again, I don't think this is much of an issue because Reza Pahlavi is so popular that it's always going to be him. And then the international legitimacy, some people are worried that this might threaten the international legitimacy of the opposition. It might delay the recognition of Reza Pahlavi's team if they have the idea of too much internal conflict. And this is why it's important for all Iranians and anybody who loves Iran or anybody who loves Israel or anybody who loves to have peace in the Middle East to keep advertising Reza Pahlavi, because the sooner he's recognized by more people around the world, the sooner we're going to have the only tool to be able to fill the power vacuum after the Islamic Republic falls. Guys, Reza Pahlavi and his team it's not the best way to fight against the Islamic Republic and fill the power vacuum after the Islamic Republic falls. The reason why I say it's not the best way is because the best suggests that there is another option. Okay, Reza Pahlavi and his team is the only way. There is, I promise you, there is nothing else. There's literally nothing else. So if you want for Iran to be one day free and prosperous again, if you want to see peace in the Middle East, if you want to see Israel's main threat be eliminated and Israel be able to enjoy knowing that no one ever will be able to threaten Israel like they did in October 7th because their main funder has been removed. If you want to see trade routes not being threatened by the proxies of the Islamic Republic, if you want to see less terror attacks all around the globe, especially in United States, Canada, and Europe, then please support Reza Pahlavi because it's the only way. It's the only way. And support Israel. Sean is saying, I mean, it's pretty obvious, Armin, that if you don't go out day one and personally run every single red light, then you just hate Iran and love fascism. Clearly. True. That's fair. That's fantastic. Thank you, Shana. Okay, guys, I think I gave you guys a really good summary of what's happening. And again, please understand that I'm sacrificing the growth of this channel by becoming so laser focused on some very specific topics. I have decided to go nuanced and nerdy with you guys instead of covering broader topics that might actually, instead of casting a wider net to appeal to more people and grow this channel faster, I am deciding to become more laser focused and specific so that we get the right audience that is interested in a very specific thing here. Oh, Sohail says something. Oh, thank you, Amir. Sohail is saying, Armin, one important thing, I'm guessing one of the authors was from inside Iran because they stayed anonymous and their name was only listed as an abbreviation. Okay, so Sohail is suggesting that one of the authors probably was from Iran. Interesting, guys. Sohail has some good info. Oh, James saying that's completely fine, Armin. Thank you. Amir, thank you so much for that. Talk about the UK. Wait, realizing the terrorist attack, they have a new online safety law, and pro-Palestinian groups announced siege on. Okay, what is? I don't know what this is. Jewish Samantha, can you email that to me? Here's my email. Can you email that to me? I don't know, because I'll let you know what my next show is going to be. My next show is going to be called Netanyahu's son betrays the Iranian people. Okay, because Netanyahu's son just recently posted something that I want to attack here on this channel. Do you guys want to see that? Is that will be our next show? Netanyahu's son betrays the Iranian people. Do you guys want to see that? That was my next topic, next show. Would you guys, should that be, is that a good, would you guys want to? Amir saying, James saying yes, Amir saying yes, Jim saying I'm intrigued. Yes, he just put at a post that is absolutely disgusting and horrible, and I need to call it out. Somebody saying he's insignificant. He's not. He has, even though he's insignificant and might be in Israeli politics because he has his father's name, what he posts will be used as a way to try to paint Israel in a certain light that is trying. It's actually a perfect post to try to cause division between Israel and the Iranian people. Yes, Yusuf, you got it. Yeah. So I need to call it out, and I need to, on the Persian channel, I need to tell, because a lot of what he posts is going to be used on a lot of Iranian people to say, like, look, Israel is not your friend. You thought Israel is your friend. Israel not is your friend. So on the Persian channel, I need to explain how insignificant he is and why what he says is not Israel's policy. So that's what I need to do on the Persian channel. And on the English channel, I need to explain why his suggestion is a shitty idea. Jewish Sabbath says everybody hates Netanyahu's son. Guys, is that true in Israel? Is that true in Israel? Is he hated in Israel? Because if he's hated in Israel, that's really good if he's hated in Israel. Because if that's a fact, then if I could take that to the Iranian people, then it will be such a powerful tool for me to give to the Iranian side so that they don't end up hating Israel. Oh, Amir saying we view him lowly. People are saying yes, he's hated. Yes, and someone saying Bibi loves the Iranian people regardless. Okay, yes, we hate him. Okay, so Debbie is saying yes, he's hated in Israel. Okay, so that's a really good piece of information for me. This is what I'm going to say on the Persian side, on the Iranian channel. I'm going to say that, hey guys, does it make sense for people to hate Iran because we have Khamenei? Obviously not. So it's obviously idiotic for somebody to point out to somebody in Israel with some bad views. And if you get anti-Israel because somebody having a bad view, then you're as dumb as somebody being anti-Iran for us having Khamenei. That's going to be it's obvious, but apparently it needs to be said to some people. Sohail in the chat is saying, please bring Naftali Bennett into power. Okay, Sohail from Iran is a fan of Naftali Bennett. All right, guys. Wow. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go get ready for my next show. On my personal channel. And let me see what I have. So if you guys search for my personal channel, that's where I'm gonna go live now. Right, Armin Navabi. And my next show is called. Let me see. What did I title it? It starts in about 20 minutes. Yes. And it's called Let AI Build You the Perfect Investment Portfolio. So if anybody is interested, so that my channel is about personal stuff. This channel is political and about politics and religion. My personal channel is about personal stuff on what the things that you could do. I focus on using technology, especially AI these days, on improving your life. So my next live stream is going to be using AI to have the best investment portfolio. So if you're interested in AI and investment, that's a good show to come and follow. I'm gonna be doing it live, and I'm going to be discussing it with people in the live chat. So anybody interested in that topic, come over there. Again, that's my personal channel, Armin Navabi. If you search for it, it will show up. Okay. All right, guys. See you guys there. If not, make sure you like this stream. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification. I'm Israel Chai. Javid Shah. Mwah. See you guys. Same time tomorrow.